Florida and Georgia meeting for the 82nd time in Jacksonville. It's cold and windy here, but Florida head coach Will Muschamp is feeling the heat. His team 3-3 for the year, but they're coming off a miserable loss to Missouri on homecoming day. That's led to a quarterback change. Freshman Treon Harris gets his first start in his first year, replacing an ineffective Jeff Driscoll. Mark Richt is in his 14th season at Georgia, 6-1 this year, leading the East. They have won their last two. Nick Chubb, another freshman, has filled in brilliantly for the suspended Todd Gurley. We're in Jacksonville, and we're not that far from the Florida-Georgia line.
Let me tell you about my life, it's filled with dreams. Work hard, play hard, I know you're feeling me. FGL up in the SEC, riding shotgun, got my dog next to me. And you know we going big like every week. And you know we gon' feel like every seat. No, we don't do it for the fame, we do it for the rain, we do it for the love of the game. Come on. When the sun comes up, we party down, we run that rock into the ground. Everybody in the crowd showing love, saying hey.
Florida versus Georgia.
Game on.
We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS on a blustery Saturday afternoon. It's the Florida Gators, 3-3 for the year, but losers to Missouri last week during homecoming in Gainesville. They take on a team that has won its last 5, the Bulldogs of Georgia. Well, we spent a lot of time talking this year about the West. Take a look at the SEC East standings that show the Bulldogs on top, 4-1. Missouri trailing by a half game, but they've lost to Georgia earlier. Kentucky, Florida follow, a very significant game for particularly the Florida Gators with all the so-called noise in the system, a phrase we haven't heard in about 10 years. But they need a win for Will Muschamp and for the Florida program. And first on the field, the Gators of Florida. And a rather dispirited welcome, one might say, as they come on the field. Not the case for the Bulldogs of Georgia. One loss on the year. That was game 2 for the season. They lost at South Carolina. Had a chance to win it, but did not, losing 38-35. Hi once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. Welcome to Jacksonville. Interesting, we began the conversation talking about Todd Gurley, who will not play, suspended. Jeff Driscoll, who may or may not play, replaced at quarterback.
Every story I did about both of these teams prior to the season, I keyed in on Todd Gurley and Jeff Driscoll. I said they were the key to the team. Well, Georgia has managed. Now we'll see about Florida. It's been so bad for Jeff Driscoll that they really had to make a change.
Florida won the toss. They deferred. And Georgia will get the football to open the game. Austin Hardin will kick off. And boy, this win, Gary, is going to affect the kicking game in I don't know what way.
Well, we'll find out. But I think the key part of this football game is really both coaches. I talked to Mark Richt on the field, and we talked to Will, okay? They say turnovers. Hold on to the ball, especially in this kind of windy conditions.
Here's Austin Hardin. Isaiah McKenzie is deep. He will bring it out. Not quite to the 20.
Talking to Mike Bobo over the years, he's always believed that it's easier to run the football against Florida from the spread rather than 2 backs and a tight end. And he's starting out exactly the way he believes.
There's Mason with the fake, and he gets it inside. Malcolm Mitchell back in the lineup. This is only the fourth game in which he has participated in 2 years because of injuries. 3rd and 2. Clavon Hicks leads the way, then flip out to Hicks, and it's short. There was pressure that affected the quality of the throw. Dante Fowler got there.
One of the base plays from this Florida offense is off tackle and then dump it to the fullback. If you watch the LSU tape against Florida, they hit that play about 5 times, the same exact play when LSU was running the ball against Florida. Great stop and obviously a poor pass. The strategy with Jeff Driscoll was to run power with the quarterback. We might see a change in strategy with this quarterback.
3rd and 2. Harris being chased, lets it go, and it's... Now, did he have control?
I thought he caught it.
No, they say
I think Robinson thinks he caught it. He said, I think he caught it. Now, was his foot in bounds? Caught it. Does he have it? Left foot goes out.
Yep.
Left foot, a toe on the line. Yep.
Nick Chubb will get the toss. They fake the reverse. Todd with a stiff arm Chubb. And that should be enough to move the chain. John Theus, as we mentioned, playing in his hometown with the key block. Well, take a look now. The Todd Gurley suspension by the NCAA, suspended for a total of 4 games. He can return against Auburn. He must repay a portion of the money and perform 40 hours of community service. I had a chance to talk with Greg McGarity, the athletic director, and he said, we have to have a plan in place for the community service. It must be performed before the end of the regular season. Screen pass. Oh, wow.
Now, what a great call by the Georgia offense, excuse me.
Still on the field, 2nd down, 11. Mason. Nice. That's Jeb Blazevich. Nick Chubb is back in. He's carried in his last 2 starts 30 times, 38 times. They ride him this time, and he slips the tackle, and here he goes. Touchdown, Georgia.
The first move, watch the jump cut right at the beginning. I think he beats ball, jumps out of the play, right out of the tackle, and he does not go down easy. An arm tackle, and he runs through it by Gorman. What a run.
And another player down for Florida.
An unteachable skill. I mean, that's one of those things where, you know, you could have 4 or 5 years of college experience, or you could just bring it with you. And Nick Chubb brought it with him.
8 carries, 76 yards, and that on only the 2nd Georgia possession. 7-zip Bulldogs.
This Georgia defense has been producing turnovers. The last 2 games, both wins. At halftime, it was 20-0 against Missouri. They had 4 turnovers in the first half, and 38-6 Arkansas. 3 of the 4 turnovers by Arkansas were also in the first half. That's why they've been able to control the football game, the defense, producing turnovers.
Deep left side, good coverage. And it's intended for Demarcus Robinson, incomplete. You've noticed, I'm sure by now, that Florida wearing its home blue and Georgia wearing its home red. This is Georgia's home game. The Gators had to ask permission of Georgia and the SEC. It was granted by both. So this is somewhat unusual. It's been a long time since they both wore home unis in this game. Kyle Christie. I know how long ago it was, but I'm withholding information.
I'm smelling something. I'm smelling something.
By the way, this Georgia team has fumbled 1 time. They've lost 1. They've fumbled 8 times and lost 1. The guy who fumbled it was number 82, Michael Bennett, in the first quarter of the first game against Clemson. They have really protected the football.
defense that time. They timed it up. The up-tempo didn't bother them at all. They had the right call on. Kudos to that Will Muschamp, DJ Durkin defense. He had them ready to go. You can see it timed up beautifully by Ball and then cleaned up by Morrison.
3rd and 2 here. 3 wide to the left side, 1 wide right. Quarterback draw. First down. Plus. Max Garcia with the clearing block.
Up again.
No, Muschamp told Allie we needed a spark.
Yep.
It's been very dispirited among the boosters, the fans. In that loss, here's Jeff Driscoll, as we said, broken ankle in Game 3 last year. Such high hopes when he began his career.
Yeah, that Matt Jones run right there, that's that power run that he can bring to the table for Florida that they need so dearly.
Corner blitz.
He dropped it, didn't he? Here we go.
Yes, he did. It's another Florida fumble.
You could, I'll tell you what, when they had that dropped pass against LSU, Florida did, and that opening kickoff against Missouri, you could almost see the air go out of the football team. And here they go again. Starting the football game, that is a self-inflicted wound. Georgia had nothing to do with it. That's 2 players that haven't had enough reps together, and they did not have the mesh point down. That is really tough to overcome playing a good football team, and Georgia's been the beneficiary of it.
Georgia now 14 to the plus side turnovers this year. At second, last time when they won the national title, they were plus 23. Here's Mason.
I think this was a bust, to tell you the truth.
Fullback is in, Quavon Hicks.
And Hunter Long is back in at center.
This time, nothing doing for Chubb. That's Brendan Douglas. Joey Ivy, number 91, first man there. 3rd and 9. Mason, a lot of time. Across the middle, caught. Reggie Davis, number 81. Fowler currently up. Stays upright. And he drops. Bennett, short.
Well, everybody, you know, I got to tell you, if Georgia would have made a first down there with the 3-man rush, every Florida person who follows the game and has a Twitter account would have been on that with their thumbs talking about the poor 3-man rush, prevent defense, but it was the perfect call at the right time.
And that brings on Marshall Morgan, who earlier this year completed a string of 20 in a row. And he then missed his next one. That was a potential tying field goal in the game at South Carolina. For the year, 8 for 10 with a long of 47. This from 39. And he's got to battle the wind, which he does successfully.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it blew out. That wind, remember the wind's going from right to left. It's coming towards our booth, and I think it blew it out. Watch it just to the left. Sure looks good, doesn't it, from here? It was, I saw the, I just peeked. I saw the guy going like this, no good from underneath.
Not what you want to hear if you're a Florida fan and you're looking at your offense. This is Matt Jones again. And they really...
Yeah, I like the turn around and hand the ball off type stuff. I think that's the way they need to do it. If they could get this guy involved.
See what they do on 3rd and 8. They flip it left side to Jones. He's got a block and a first down. Ahmad Fullwood leading the way, number 5. This is the 11th play of the current drive.
Whoa.
Oh, gracious.
Can he throw it away? Can he throw it away?
I don't think it crossed his mind.
He could have thrown that ball away and got it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yes, sir. Marcus Robinson, top of the screen. Press coverage on him. Jones goes right.
Exactly the call. Something a little different to take the pressure off your quarterback. You don't need an egregious mistake right here early in this football game where Florida gets down on themselves.
Jones coming right. They are going to send the field goal unit on. Frankie Velez, a senior. His career long is 44.
About the same spot we just saw, didn't we?
39. He's 8 of 9 for the year. They fake it, and they go right. And they have a touchdown from Michael McNeely, the holder.
Well, you got to manufacture some offense, and Will Muschamp dialed one up this time. Mark Richt has seen it all in this game. He's produced some of it, and he's seen some of it.
Quite true. McNeely. That may be the most important. Here's McNeely from Clearwater, a 5'8", 176-pound backup wide receiver. How about Michael McNeely with the fake field goal? He's listed. He's not listed, by the way, on the depth chart. Not at all. Not first team, second team. Isaiah McKenzie.
Oh, man.
Oh. Marcel Harris, number 26.
And this is what Will Muschamp was most counting on as being a leader of the team. When we talked to him, he goes, my guys are going to show up. They want to play football. Yeah, it hurts not to win football games. And, you know, all the talk about me, but they want to get out there and play. That's the type of intensity he was counting on in this football game.
Hunter Long is the backup center. David Andrews into the locker room with an injury. There's pressure and an incomplete pass. John Bullard, number 90. Nick Chubb, the running back. There's that little move, except the other direction, and good defensive play. Brian Poole, number 24. And Quincy Wilson, number 12.
Well, remember, as Georgia was calmly winning these last two games without Todd Gurley, they had big leads in both of these games in the first half. And how about that penetration again? We talked about it.
That was Jared Davis, number 40.
Yep.
22 rushes and 4 passes so far. Calvin Taylor, official got in the way, inadvertent, but here is Taylor all the way to the 15-yard line.
Well, Vern, the longest play of the year against Georgia was 38 yards, and that was a pass play. The longest rush by Florida in the last 3 years was 20 yards, and that was by a quarterback.
Bobbled it. Drills it. Caught at the 2. LaTroy Pittman, number 9.
And this is nothing more than a ball placement. This is an athlete making a play. It's not easy. He finds it. He finds the open guy, and he puts the football where he had to. If he'd have led the receiver that time, it would have been intercepted.
Taylor. Touchdown, Gators.
And that Florida bench exploded. The defensive players went crazy.
Florida leads. First down 10. Left side, Mason. Conley. Conley's got a first down, it would appear.
So we're going to see. Hudson Mason may have to be this day where he steps up and wins a game at the quarterback position.
He gets protection, pumps. Now he's chased and dropped. Brian Cox Jr., number 94.
Well, that Florida defense, they're playing man-to-man coverage. They're challenging those defensive backs to stick with them. They do a great job of it, and Brian Cox Jr. makes the play, and that's one I think that Hudson would like to be able to just toss it away.
Third down, 16. Georgia, they trail by 7. Mason, pressure from the backside. Screen, Chubb. 4 yards short of the first down. Antonio Morrison, number 3 for the Gators. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, that was pretty close and pretty scary. Remember this Florida defense. We've been zeroing in on the offense as all the problems. Remember, though, if you're a Florida fan, you remember the LSU game. They had LSU 3rd and 25. Could have put the game away, and LSU converted. So on that long distance, they played very safe. Now, they need to stop right now.
3rd and 2. Matt Jones.
In the Wildcat.
Yeah, a little Wildcat action.
And they got it, didn't they, Georgia?
Leonard Floyd. Goodness.
I'm assuming Mark Richt will take a timeout here, won't he? Great penetration inside to make that play. And Mark Richt's going to let it go down. Oh, he just didn't play it fast enough.
I remember a game against Auburn.
Cost him 20 seconds. Cost him 20 seconds.
Oh, dear.
Well, this is going to be a little interesting clash of what a head coach might want and what a quarterback might want. When we talked to Hudson Mason on the phone, he said, I'm always ready to throw 40 balls a game. Haven't been asked to do it. But will Mark Richt ask his first-year quarterback to take the throw right now?
Underneath it goes.
Very conservative.
Malcolm Mitchell.
Very, very conservative. It's almost as if, like, get me out to the 40 and I'll let you rip some. But right now, I can't afford a mistake. Even though he's a 5th-year player, it's his first year as a starter.
He'll keep it. Slides down at the 22-yard line. Jalen Tabor, number 5, with the tackle. And 27 seconds. No indication that Mr. Richt wants to stop the clock.
No, it might be up to Mr. Muschamp should they get a stop here. And I tell you, I think both coaches right now would be happy to go into the locker room, especially that man.
3rd and 6. 5-4.
The Georgia fans are booing. The Florida fans are cheering.
That's not what we expected. And for Will Muschamp, that's welcome noise in the system.
I think it was a good decision by Mark Richt not to make a horrible mistake at the end of the half. Go in, regroup. It's a long football game.
Breaks the tackle. Another at the 10 and into the corner. Touchdown, Nick Chubb.
And that's going to be a fake as they snap it in. A touchdown for the Gators. Burrows his way down toward the goal line. He's in! Touchdown! 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 Taylor made!
What we most need, I think, is a little passion about this game.
Same old, same play.
Well, at the half, Treon Harris, the freshman, getting his first start. First down, 10. Snap a little high. Taylor gets to the edge. Chased by Herrera. Gets by him, and then Mauger knocks him out of bounds. Quincy Mauger. 2nd and 8 at the 44 of Georgia. From the corner, they go the opposite way. It's Jones, makes his own headway down the sideline. Touchdown. The second 44-yard run for the Gators in the ball game.
See if he stepped out. He's got his foot in. All he needs to do is touch it. That's a touchdown. And Vern, remember I told you about DeMarcus Robinson blocking? He got 2 guys on this one.
Georgia has won the last 3 in the series. Here's Mason, dumps it, dropped by Blazevich, the freshman tight end.
It was really a nice job by Hudson Mason, moving up into the pocket, finding the time, and delivering the ball. And this is what was happening to Florida. Now Georgia is dropping the ball.
Neron Ball helped defend. Hargraves is off.
You know, you got a team now running Florida for over 230 yards. They have to stand up strong. Quarterback draw.
Indeed. Across midfield.
Yeah, same formation. They ran the same play before. You know they don't have a lot of offense in for Treon Harris. Trips to the top side, put the player in motion, and run the quarterback draw behind it.
Now he followed Max Garcia, number 76.
And I'll bet you this game plan is about 50% the size of a normal game plan, because Will Muschamp and Kurt Roper said, let's not make mistakes.
And so he goes. Stiff arms. Beauty.
You know, Matt Jones, I watched the LSU tape. He was coming off of a drained knee, and he did not play a lot in that football game. Hurt him at the end of the game when they did not have him in the backfield, when they didn't score against LSU. You can see he's the big back that loves to run the ball between the tackles, and really the vision of what Will Muschamp wanted his football team to be. He believes the SEC as a line of scrimmage league is exactly unfolding in this game.
As it does, Jones, stiff arm. 4th down.
Tough part about that, if they had not had the penalty, that play right there might score. This play was designed between the tackles. Jones bounces it outside. We've seen this all day. These running backs take the kind of single back running attack, bounce outside, and turn upfield.
And this time the holder will be Kyle Crowfoot. This is a 21-yard field goal. Frankie Velez. Remember they had a 21-yarder they got? Oh, boy.
Not very good.
No.
But good enough.
Yeah. Hearts of Twitter.
Bet.
Chubb.
Fumbled the ball. Yes, he did. I think he's calling him down, though. I think the linesman is calling him down.
Brian Poole hit him. This Georgia team has lost only one fumble all year long. And now we got a little Dante Fowler, Michael Bennett altercation.
Brian Poole, let's see if he was down. I think it was a fumble. My first look was that it was a fumble. Let's watch the whole play first. I think this is going to be Florida ball. Brian Poole, you're right, Vern, came from behind, and see if he rips it out before it goes down.
First day on Georgia.
From that look, you can't tell. Watch this.
Oh, it's out.
Absolutely.
It's out.
Clearly out. That's going to be Florida's football.
Further review, the ruling is the ball was fumbled, immediately recovered by Florida. It will be Florida's ball, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
And the key word is immediately. It happened right away.
Will Muschamp played 4 years for the University of Georgia, grew up in Gainesville. As a player and a coach, he's never been a winner in this game. Kelvin Taylor again. Will Muschamp was 0 for 4 as a player at Georgia. 0 for 3 as a coach at Florida. Adam, thank you. It's 24-7 here. And third at 8. Got him. Dante Fowler.
Well, big number 6. You must know where he is all the time. We talked about him. He's a mismatch. He lines up wide. He's got the tight end matched up. That's a true freshman on one of the elite pass rushers in the SEC. That's a protection that I would not want if I was a quarterback.
Fowler with his 3.5 sack of the year. Colin Barber with a heavily taped left ankle.
That wind bothered him,
yes.
didn't it?
Dubose dancing down the sidelines, out of bounds. Knocked there by Reggie Davis.
The special teams have been controlled by Florida in this football game. DuBose does not handle the wind. The wind is going to push him to the right. But once he catches it, his speed gets to the sideline. He kept Florida in that LSU game, I'll tell you that. And remember, it just makes me think of Jeff Demps. Remember, we were hearing, what was it, 11 or 12? He had that 99-yard kickoff return. That's the kind of speed DuBose has.
Scholarship fund. Jones.
And that play is just killing Georgia. Just killing them. I mean, they must have, they're bordering on 20 times, I bet, that they've run this play through 3 quarters. Pull them around and follow them and then read the block. Even though you have a linebacker right in the middle of the play, it was Reggie Carter. He runs right away from him.
Big quarter for Florida. It's over. That's the end of 3. Scored 24-7. We'll return to Jacksonville right after this word from your local station. Georgia jumped out to a 7-0 lead, but now Florida with a 3rd and 1.
Run it and push them from behind like you're allowed to do.
Oh, my goodness. Jones, little stutter step behind the line.
You know, usually on these 3rd and 1s, you get a guy that just runs straight ahead and tries to plow. But Jones is patient, sees the block, actually runs behind the tight end's block on that play, and gets by. It was actually behind Tevin Westbrook's block that he patiently waited for.
First down goal with a 24-7 lead. Darts to the right side, chased by Mulder. Dives for the end zone. Consultation between the officials. Did he or did he not get in?
Got him a half-yard short.
Yep. 2nd and goal. Mac Brown is on at fullback for the first time this afternoon. Matt Jones.
Treon Harris shifts out. They're going to go Wildcat.
Yep.
This did not work last time.
Run blitz coming. It does work this time.
Good snap, good catch. And this time just put your head down and try to get 6 inches.
Sterling Bailey is the injured player. Out of the Wildcat. Touchdown Gators. Matt Jones. Treon Harris leading the celebration.
Florida's schedule, they could sneak in on the West if they win this, finish off this game. Because they just have winnable games left. And you look at Georgia with Auburn, you look at Missouri, they still have 4 games. They haven't played anybody from the West yet.
Right. Only one play in that game, a kickoff return, and then thunderstorms. Mason under trouble, goes deep left side. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. Jalen Tabor, number 5, was back. Has to go short again. Chubb gets the first down and then tripped up. Contact made around the ankle.
That was great blocking by that offensive line for Georgia. Rushed 4, but Hudson Mason stayed in there, and finally dropped it off. 2 minutes in the box, but no, right back out.
Mason again, got him.
Nice delivery.
Malcolm Mitchell. Mitchell gets up very, very slowly. Chubb, nothing. Double teamed and dropped. John Bullard, number 90. Dante Fowler. Blitz. Mason, Fowler chasing him. Mason.
Oh,
tapped and caught. Chubb.
Yep. Get your 2-point play ready if you're Georgia. You're down 24 points. You got to get 3 8s. This ball could have been picked off. It wasn't. And Chubb gets it.
Vernon Hargraves defending. Yep.
Vernon Hargraves. Defended well by Florida. They blitzed Hudson Mason, and Mark Richt had it ready. He was instantly signaling 2 fingers. He was going for 2. He knew exactly what he had to do. And right now, he's with his defensive team, talking to them. He needs a 3 and out.
Conley and Bennett, right side. So was Mitchell. Blitz. Underneath. Caught. Good for 2. No. I thought he had control.
He must have been bobbling it all the way. It was a gimmick play. Chubb faked the block and then slipped inside.
Will Muschamp looking for his first win in this series as either a player or a head coach.
Treon Harris has thrown 1 pass this half, and I didn't think it would be 2 after that play.
Right side.
A nice back shoulder throw and a great catch that time. Malcolm Mitchell, the ball's almost on its way. Now he turns, and it's placed perfectly to the outside to beat pretty good coverage. Vernon Hargraves is going to give you that one. He does not want the stutter and go on him.
8:20 to go.
Well, they got it.
Yes, they do. Blazevich to the 21.
Hard to believe. Mike Bobo just signals 1 play, fake, and he's gone. That's a lack of discipline by that Florida defense. They've seen it all year. They had a bust in that Alabama game we did. They had a bust against LSU, and they had a bust right there.
That was Marcus May, number 20, who bit. First down and 10. Under 8 to go. Down by Malcolm Mitchell.
I think they're going to call an offensive pick on this play. If he did, I thought it should have been a timeout.
3rd and 15 now. Down the middle. Got
Beautiful.
Michael Bennett. That is a first down.
Sure is.
Fumble.
You still holding your ball, Vern?
I am. Yes.
Mark Richt is out on the field.
Time has been called while they unravel this.
Mason got back on it. As soon as Mark Richt saw the fumble, he was almost running out there to call timeout because he knew he had to stop the clock for a 4th down play, and I can't believe Mason got that ball back.
No.
Look at Mark Richt.
Well, time is unraveling. Fourth and goal. Play action. Mason goes deep in the end zone.
Nope.
No.
What a defensive play.
Marcus May. The ball intended for Bennett.
Executed very well by Georgia, but better by Florida. Marcus May, he didn't interfere, but he ripped that ball, stayed on his man, reacted, and stayed with it and pried it loose. Very close again. John Bible is going, I'm too old for this.
He stopped by to say hello about an hour before the game. He said, last when I worked, I had 4 replays that I had to rule on.
DJ Durkin's going, my guys got it. I'm sure it does not look like they're going to review that last play. Once the ball's snapped, it's over.
Broke a tackle, did Matt Jones.
And then
Stays in bounds.
You got it. He's a big man. Matt Jones is what? Almost over 180 yards rushing in this game. Runs through a tackle and keeps from going out of bounds. Smart play, tough play, athletic play.
On 2nd and 11, Jones. First down. And the athletic director of Florida on the sidelines, Jeremy Foley.
You know, there were a lot of people, a lot of so-called experts that thought Jeremy Foley 2 weeks ago after the last game was going to pull the plug on this thing. He said, nope, we have a way to do it. We're going to do it at the end of the season, and I'm going to let my guy coach at least one more game.
Yep. First down and 10. Here's Kelvin Taylor going right. Still going. He will score.
I think that's going to put him over 400 yards rushing.
Gosh almighty. I find it quite a paradox when your athletic director is skipping down the sidelines and your coach knows it ain't over yet.
Well,
that is the season and what's at
That's
stake.
right. Well, I mean, you know, I'm not taking anything away from Georgia. They are what they are. But that man has never won this football game. He's always been on the losing side. He played at Georgia. He's coached here. And he's an O until today.
Yep.
You know, Georgia has all their people up. It's almost a short yardage running situation. When you bust the line of scrimmage, there's no safeties back there. It's an all-out gamble for the Georgia defense. Once he turned the corner, it was a touchdown.
Jeremy Foley. That away. Well, the stands on the near side almost empty. They were filled with red and black from Georgia. A few empty seats on the far side. Will Muschamp. Will and his wife Carol have two sons, Whit and Jackson. He said one of the tough parts of the last couple of weeks, especially in the aftermath of that terrible loss at home to Missouri, when the crowd, those who were still left, were hollering, "Fire Muschamp, fire Muschamp," was explaining to his 9-year-old son why the crowd was hiring Fire Muschamp.
But you know what I liked about Will, Vern, is he understands it.
Yep.
He understands it's a results business. He didn't have any problem. You know, he believes in himself, obviously. I actually talked to Will about, as we look at his schedule, and these are winnable games. Well, maybe not the Florida State game that they're going to end up with.
Right.
But in the SEC, Florida will be favored when they play at Vandy. They play at Vandy. I think it's at Vandy.
It is.
Okay. And then they come home to South Carolina. So they should, they can win the next 3 games. I mean, South Carolina, obviously, they'll push over. But these are games that they should be able to compete in. And if they win those games, who knows what's going to happen to Georgia? They got a tough schedule.
Out of the backfield, dropped by Douglas. Stay tuned for the Dodge postgame show on CBS Sports.
You know, Vern, ironically, there's only one player that is active on Georgia's roster that was active the last time Georgia lost. Hudson Mason was the backup quarterback the last time. Everyone else on this football team, I think a couple were redshirted, but no one else has ever lost to Florida.
Here's Mason. Got him. That's Bennett again. Marcus May missed defending the play, and Coach Boom is back.
And the other thing for Will is he doesn't want a targeting call against one of his DBs. He's telling him, wrap them up. You know, on the other sideline for Georgia, they got their work cut out for them the rest of the season.
Kenneth Towns, number 9 on the field, makes his catch.
They have the tiebreaker against Missouri.
Right.
Okay. But they're going to have to beat Auburn. You know, that's not going to be a tough chore. They get them at home, though.
They go to Kentucky next week. Mason caught and dropped. Darius Cummings, number 55. And so, with Florida's win today, Missouri 3-1 in conference play. Georgia drops to 4-2. Florida goes even.
Right, Florida has to win out. If they finish 5-3, they hope that Georgia loses to Auburn to be 5-3. They win that tiebreaker, and then it's all up to Missouri.
Mason caught. Conley gets out of bounds. Stopping the clock with 44 seconds to go. Updating that Missouri score, they're winning with 3.5 to go. 28-10. Here's the catch made by Jordan Davis. Douglas. 4 seconds on the clock. Touchdown. Go ahead, Gary.
No, your call, Vern. It was Brendan Douglas. It was a nice drive by Georgia. Hudson Mason got out of the pocket a couple times, broke it down, and he wanted that last stop right there.
Marshall Morgan for the extra point.
I think he shouldn't be too greedy.
No, I don't either. Oh. 3 seconds to go. It's an 18-point Florida lead. Well, Will Muschamp allowing himself a little emotion now.
Yeah, I think he has it. You know, the irony of Will Muschamp, who, you know, engineers this defense, of course, with DJ Durkin as defensive coordinator. Against Missouri, he holds that Missouri offense. Today, his defense holds Georgia to 460, and they win going away.
38-20, Morgan. Squibb kicks. Well, the clock never started. Hunter Joyer recovering it, and a little unnecessary verbiage breaking out.
Well, as loud as the crowd got at the fourth quarter of that Missouri game, it was just as loud for a week. Now, Will's in his bunker mentality, as he talked about getting ready for the game. But believe me, the talk shows and everybody else did nothing but talk about that Florida needed to make a change. And Jeremy Foley hung with them for at least one more week and got dividends in this victory. He's a great guy, though, isn't he?
Yes.
Will, he really is. He's just delightful to talk to. He's all football.
At last, for Will Muschamp. Steve McLean to his right, our left, longtime sports information director. Mark Richt, Will Muschamp.
It's almost like Will has tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
He's very emotional.
Big day for Will Muschamp. Michael McNeely. Notre Dame Navy tonight for Gary Danielson and Allie LaForce. Vern Lundquist saying so long from Jacksonville. Final score, Florida wins it 38-20. The Dodge postgame show is up next after these messages and a word from your local station.